It's Eastern Conference time for the traveling Toronto Raptors today. We're in the Motor City as the Detroit Pistons plan to take advantage of home court. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analysts. And from the sideline, David Aldridge is...
Well, guys... Stan Van Gundy has coached the likes...
Thanks, D.A. And Drummond is just a hulk of a man. He's really the backbone of this team. Doris, should be quite a battle tonight. Two terrific front courts. What do you expect to see?
Well, I'm really curious to see the level of physicality on the interior in the painted area, each side trying to impose its will upon the other. Who does the better job invading the space and contesting shots? Just don't invade my space over here, Mr. Harlan. Keep to your side of the table, will you?
I wouldn't think of it. I would not think of it. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Setting the floor for the Raptors. The talented Lowry and DeRozan pair in the backcourt. Ibaka is the 4 and Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Anunoby in at the 3 spot.
You love the anticipation there. Made sure to box out, knew where the ball was going, and doesn't let anyone impede him from pulling in the glass.
The shot's good from Smith.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
And it's the Raptors' ball. It's a 3-point game. Valanciunas dishes to DeRozan. Screened by Valanciunas. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
I think he could have opted to kick it out with the defender draped all over him, but DeMar DeRozan says, "Let me shake you off, sir. I gotta score the bucket."
Here's Bullock. Banked in off the glass. The Raptors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, guys, really good court vision, allowing DeRozan to make that pass. You know, he sees the play developing.
Whoa!
Stop it!
Man, one for the highlight reel. And you see after multiple knee surgeries, Griffin can still get up.
And that last replay, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And good that time. Ennis has got his first points of the game.
Boy, that makes them 4 out of 5 to start this thing. They're finding very good shots early on.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Boy, some tough decisions for the Raptors this past summer, right? A lot of their players entering free agency, not enough money to go around. It's a good problem to have, though, having too much talent.
And the Raptors roster getting expensive. Doris, in your opinion, are they a contender? And is it worth paying the luxury tax if they're not?
Well, Kev, we're talking about a top 3 seed in the East last season. They're coming off back-to-back 50-win seasons. So whether or not they can win it all, that kind of winning has value. But as presently constituted, do I think they win a championship? No.
Here's DeRozan. Pass to Van Vliet. Just 5 on the clock. And again, no good by Toronto. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Ennis passes to Griffin. Back to Ennis. Doesn't go that time. And Toronto will go the other way with it. On the wing, DeRozan. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here.
Yeah, you go for the steal, but at least you do get the deflection.
Well, Greg, you make them reset their offense, right? It's disrupting their rhythm.
Here's DeRozan. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
I think I can make the case that DeMar DeRozan finishes through contact like a big man. This guy is tremendous at end-one opportunities.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there.
And really, DeMar DeRozan is a master at what he calls body hunting. That ability to just kind of draw fouls. I think he and James Harden actually are the guys that have really kind of set the tone for how to create those opportunities to get to the line.
Well, how about Valanciunas on the rim run? Just busts it down the floor, and no one keeps up with him.
Here's DeRozan. Uses the glass to finish the layup. DeRozan's got 7 points.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. And DeMar DeRozan, always, Greg, among the league leaders in free throw attempts.
And when you look at him, 6'7", 220 pounds with tremendous athleticism, he has got all the tools. Beyond, though, that attack mentality, he's a savvy basketball player. Those little shot fakes, his footwork, helped this guy live at the line.
And the Raptors making a change here. Powell's checked in.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been one or two pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
The Raptors making a switch here. Birtles checked in, and the shot will not go from Anunoby. Pistons leading by 3, 5 seconds, separating the shot and game clocks. There's the steal. Fast break, Toronto. For the 3, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game. And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big-time play on both ends.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Pistons lead by 5. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his older.
Watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get,
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad, Tommy, in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college coach.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
Listen, early on taking the league, I just like their approach offensively.
I think their play calling has been exceptional. They've played with purpose, and they've played with aggressiveness.
They've got Drummond. Ennis out there with Griffin. And it's Smith. And it's Bullock in at the shooting guard. That's the group for Detroit right now. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for the Raptors.
C.J. Miles.
Here's Griffin. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. And a miss there off the inbound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Doris is a former guard. You know how much energy it takes to run a team and think a game as well as score. I mean, there's a lot on your plate at that position. What backcourt guys get an advantage of playing with a consistently high motor?
Well, Russell Westbrook, in addition to his ferocity, seems to be able to sustain his level of energy across a 48-minute game. I feel like the guy never gets a rest, so he's one high motor guy. I'll tell you a guy who doesn't do it the same way, but still it's required that he has a level of endurance that maybe would shock people, is James Harden. Like, the guy has the basketball in his hands. He's #1 priority in terms of the defensive scout. So Russell Westbrook and James Harden, though they go about the job differently, both are phenomenal at having a great endurance and having the ball so much.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's a good call, Greg. They need a fresh, new approach here.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Johnson, he's checked in for James Ennis. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Reggie Bullock. Kyle Lowry, he's checked in for the Raptors. to the left side wing. Pass to Miles, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Clock at 6. Goes up from the top of the key, and it's off the back rim. No good. The Pistons leading. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is Greg when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best.
Smith dishes to Johnson. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And that's the trademark Griffin finish. Get in tight, elevate, and throw it down with authority. Big fella is a beast down low.
Toronto calls timeout.
Well, the Raptors have been a top-tier team in the East. There's no question about it. You think back to 2014, maybe a rebuild. They trade away Rudy Gay. Kyle Lowry, there was some talk of him going to the Knicks. That falls through. All of a sudden, the team starts winning, and they haven't looked back.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Tolliver comes in for Andre Drummond. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Ish Smith. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Toronto. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Norman Powell. Inside. Out to Nelson. Fires from deep. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game. And you talk about the Raptors front office, very progressive and very aggressive. Doris, they're willing to take a risk in pursuit of a title.
Well, they have excellent leadership at the top, and it's a group that prioritizes winning. They are willing to be aggressive.
And right now, they have all the momentum. I mean, just look at the score.
No, there's no doubt. You can see it. The lead continues to grow. They're not slowing down. I love the pressure they're applying. That three-pointer is good almost every time if he's left that wide open.
There's 47 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Galloway. DeRozan defending. Outside for Griffin. Over Ibaka. And the rejection by Ibaka.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
Buries it from three-point range. And now just a 4-point Piston lead.
You know, rough start for him, but he seems to have turned the corner here in the second period.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
You know, it'll be interesting to see what coach draws up here.
Well, they need to stop this run, and a great timeout that hopefully gives his team some energy.
Valanciunas is checked in for Jakob Poeltl. We've got 22 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Nelson kicks to Griffin. In the corner, it's Galloway. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. And the Pistons lead by 6.
You know, at 6'2", Galloway has got size, but he combines that with athleticism, and that's how you attack the rim right there.
And so is Detroit with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. They saw their lead grow to a high water mark of 5 in the period. And guys, for the Pistons, Kenny?
I was super impressed with their shot selection. I think that was part of the strategy coming in. They wanted to be patient with the basketball, move it around, and get high percentage looks.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Welcome back to the Palace at Auburn Hills. That's a look at the Renaissance Center, which dominates the skyline in downtown Detroit. And it's been a back-and-forth game. Here is Lowry. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Miles and Ibaka, the small and power forwards. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. And it's Valanciunas in at the 5, down low.
And this has been an outstanding display on the boards, and it's a big part of why they have a lead in this game, doing the dirty work down low.
I think you'd have to say this about Coach Dwayne Casey. He is very consistent with his approach. The players know what he expects, and hard work is always at the top of that list.
Smith, the pass to Drummond. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. Here's Ibaka. Feeds it to Lowry. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Kicks to Miles for 3. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. Miles has got 5 now.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Smith dishes to Griffin. Here's Drummond, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And watching Andre Drummond play, he's really just an old school type center. I mean, he eats up space in the middle and finishes plays in close. Not a skilled guy who can pull a defender away from the basket.
Toronto calls timeout. And with Drummond, he does play like towering centers of decades past.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't great at moving the ball around or hitting shots from range, but his size and athleticism are elite and one of the best rebounders in our game.
Siakam is checked in for Serge Ibaka. And both free throws good for Drummond.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
Boy, he's so used to having a hand in his face that I think it caught him off guard to be that wide open.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Outside Griffin. Dishes to Ennis. Just 5 on the clock. 14 feet away, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Raptors trail by 5. Lowry inside the line. Again, the miss by Lowry.
Well, he gets the separation he needs. You can't say the same for his aim, though.
Out to Smith. This one for 3. It's good. The assist that time for Menace. He's got 6. Doris, back in college, you earned a master's in education. How close were you to pursuing that path versus veering into becoming an analyst for basketball?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I always felt like I would be a high school teacher and a basketball coach, and someday maybe I'll coach a boys' high school basketball team. Very close, Kevin. I happened into broadcasting. I left coaching at Providence College. They put their women's basketball games on radio, and that was my entree into the business, and slowly but surely it grew every year.
But still educating still, right? I mean, don't you feel there's a part of education to being an analyst?
Oh, there's no question about it. You are trying to help that viewer to be as close to the action as we are fortunate enough to be, and sure, just describing what's going on. It's a lot of fun.
You are a PhD in broadcasting. It's stolen by Ibaka. Here's DeRozan, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And the foul called on the Detroit Pistons.
Well, this guy just attacks, gets the defender on their heels. DeMar DeRozan dictating the action on his way to the cup.
The Raptors have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. And he makes the first.
And this is what we're starting to see, right? A growing number of players league-wide who can combine both shot blocking and three-point shooting. That used to be a rare combination. And if you think about it, Serge Ibaka was a forerunner. He was one of the first in the league to do it.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And Doris Ibaka, drafted with the 24th pick by Oklahoma City back in 2008. Seen as a raw project player, his development as a shooter, really impressive.
Right. Kev, this guy came into the league strictly as an energy player. But through work and dedication, he develops a big-time mid-range jump shot. And by year 6, he stretched that out to the three-point line.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Detroit. Nelson comes in for Smith.
Well, I think you have to admit that DeMar DeRozan is a guy who's gotten better with age. He's always been great, but I think now certainly one of the elite offensive players in the entire association.
Lowry for 3. Raptors get it back and a new 24. He kicks it to DeRozan. And they double up DeRozan. There's 57 seconds left in the third quarter. No good from Valanciunas. Detroit leading by 9. Here is Tolliver. At the elbow, it's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
Just relentless. Really impressed with how they've been able to maintain that focus.
I think it's obvious, Greg. They want this win. They're showing no let-up in their attack right now.
Lowry from outside hits the three-point bomb. Lowry's got 12 points in the game.
He's hit 4 now from behind the arc, 2 in each half, making an impact.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. From past the arc, they get it again. Outside for Miles. Outside Lowry. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Again, the miss by Lowry.
Boy, that's a tough miss. Does well to get himself open and then botches it up.
Here's Drummond, and it's blocked by Ibaka. All alone, and so is Detroit in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
Get the pass, attack. Pass, attack. But down there.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Pistons leading by 8. Griffin is out there with Andre Drummond. Then there's Ish Smith. Then there's Reggie Bullock. And it's Ennis in at the 3. That's the group for Detroit right now. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Raptors trail by 8. Outside Lowry. And here's Miles outside. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Miles has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Toronto. In the corner, it's Griffin. Down low, got a piece of it. And Drummond kicks to Griffin. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. And the wide open shot from Miles. Miles with another miss. Detroit's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Smith outside. He dishes it to Griffin. And he goes right over Serge Ibaka and slams it down.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Drummond with a screen on Miles. And they're running. Back to Ibaka. 18 feet out, and that's off the glass and in.
You simply cannot let Serge Ibaka get into a rhythm from that range. His mid-range is as good as it gets.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
You know, my guess right now is Coach wants to talk over this turnover issue, and it seems like they've been trying to force things a bit and need to find a steady rhythm offensively.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Detroit. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Stan Van Gundy as he talked with his team. He told his guys they've got the green light to keep shooting from downtown. He told them, I like the way you guys are working out there. Keep finding the open spaces on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots. We'll see if they step it up from here, guys.
Thank you, David. Count it. Good.
He can catch you off guard at the rim. Galloway's creative, and he's got nice touch.
Lowry kicks to Miles. Off target from outside.
Simply put, a bad shot, guys. They all know they can get a better look than that.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Smith, the pass to Griffin. Just 4 to shoot. Over Ibaka. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Ibaka's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Lowry from outside. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 3 assists in the game. Lowry against Smith. Right wing. Here's Bullock. Here's Galloway. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. And oh, here we go. Lowry's got the fast break chance. The Raptors rebound. Valanciunas dishes to Lowry. Raptors moving the ball around. There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Good! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Fearless, decisive, on point.
Which is exactly what you have to be, especially when your team needs a bucket.
Huge bucket.
I think the roof's about to come off this place.
James Ennis, he'll check in for Langston Galloway. Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're up by 3. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Andre Drummond.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
And the Pistons making a change here. Nelson's checked in.
That and 1 free throw ups it to a 2-possession game. Costly foul on the shot that time. And this is not a time to be patient with the basketball.
No, you've got to act quickly here. I mean, look for the quick score and either a fast foul or a steal. No options. And this is why they want the ball in DeRozan's hand. This guy is stone cold under pressure.
Picked by Griffin. Nelson with it. And so they foul intentionally.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Boy, what a steady presence at the line, whether it's a blowout or a tight game like this one. His stroke never varies.
And the Raptors call time here. They're trailing by 1. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And this is it, guys. Down one. They've got just enough time to work it around for a good shot, and it better be a good shot because it's the only shot they have.
It's Miles on the wing. Misses the tray. And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's gonna happen. How is this thing gonna play out?
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Blake, you really got it going inside tonight. Was that one of your primary objectives?
Yeah, that's something we talked about. You know, we talked about not being complacent, settling for jump shots, talked about getting to the hole and playing stuff on defense, and I thought that's what our guys did tonight.
Really controlled the paint at both ends, Blake. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.